After 3 games of Fiora and 1 game of Gangplank to start this season, a little underwhelming. Tom Kench and Gnar going back to some tanks tonight for KT and not sticking with their... Walk right by a pink board in the river without checking it. They know what's going on here. Kuro going to get engaged on Fly, actually. Going to pop his ult on himself in response to the GP, but there's Gorilla, forces the flash. Smeb also joining the rest of his team, courtesy of a TP. Hachani now trying to zone out. They're not going to catch Lysandra, but a very good read by the Tigers, turning...
As at least 1 point in the W, can just tank up the damage. Between Elise and Shen, they're so tanky, and then of course...
Here we go. Peanut going to come back in, Fly going to eat out, and there's the death. Wolf gets the first blood, combined with Kuro. Looks like it was actually a passive tick. I may have well-timed, not only to keep the turret up, but to dissuade any dive. Someday now finds Peanut in the river. And that's going to be a 3-stack. Someday's getting very close to Mega Gnar. Peanut doesn't want to fight this. I don't know what he's doing, and he's just going to get jumped on by Someday. They're going to get the kill maybe with the Ignite.
It's not going to kill him.
And it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Score gets found out in the top side. Kuro is here, and Hachani, the last victim, left alone, flashless. And the enemy jungle, and Prey comes through with the true shot barrage, finishes off Someday as he recalls under his turret, coming back, and that will be canceled in the end. Kuro has to use his summoner spelling, but guess who's here? It's Someday, hopping forward, does get the proc, but is he going to burn through the health? The answer is yes. Probably. Once this shield is slowly destroyed, Someday barely lives,
Kindred's
but it's
on the chase.
Kindred coming around, but Score and Someday are here, and it's just Peanut. And there is Someday with a Mega Gnar. Cocoon goes through. Peanut a little in a tough place, and here comes Someday. Rock thrown, smashed into the ground. Kindred ult. Gorilla's here with a 3-man knockup, and a true shot barrage goes past, but it just can't finish up. Peanut again caught out, rushing the Iceborne, and instead trying to stack up for the Muramana faster. There's an engagement. Smeb comes from the flank, but he gets taunted. Hachani starts to try and delay him, does get eaten, spit back out, and that'll be a kill for the Tigers as they get one on the hard engage. A plethora of wards.
In a situation where they need to apply pressure against an outscale comp. And speaking of pressure...
Oh yeah, they're going for the Rift Herald right now. Smeb, gray health already about 50%. And here's the TP as Someday's going to go into Mega Gnar form. Score punched out of the fight by Gorilla. Peanut now over the wall. Here comes the E though. Big Gnar into the wall. 3 people, and they're going to catch Prey on the back end of this fight. Prey still doing damage though. He is going to eventually fall, and now Peanut going to come in. Nice pull here by Gorilla as the Kindred ult is dropped, but that's not going to be enough as Peanut's still alive, but he is going to get knocked down by Arrow, who takes a double to end the fight. Someday still with that 100% kill participation at 4, 1, and 5. Help picks up a lot of gold. Oh, Gorilla, you can't deal with this.
There's a mallet.
The mallet doing work. And this is actually, we saw Gorilla in the last game, boots of mobility. Well, you may not want the boots of mobility against a frozen mallet Gnar.
He's not a swiftness boots believer as far as we can tell. For a pinboard, they desperately need them. Someday's really overextended.
Flash taunt onto Prey, there's it, straight to Cocoon, and Someday is just waiting in Mega Gnar, trying to save him with the Kindred ult. That's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Arrow gets himself in a nice position. Gnar is eaten and killed, actually, by the Tom Kench. Hachani now backs away, but the siege can still come in here from KT, and nice ult. Smeb gets caught out in the front line, and this will be another turret for KT off of a top laner for a top laner and 80 carry trade.
Fly was really smart to hold the ult to the 2016 season has been to go for the late game, which, again, atypical of so many other teams. A Score might be caught.
Has to jump up right there. Does have Peanut isolated, but Someday on his own. He's very tanky. Fly has to ult himself to get out of that Smeb. Again, tied up with the taunt. Someday now on the backside. They have to use the Kindred ult just to keep people alive. Another great ultimate and a huge taunt and stun from Hachani, and Someday is just going to absolutely wreck the ROX Tigers. What a good answer to that Kindred ult. Incoming quadra kill from Arrow. Doesn't get the penta, unfortunately.
Denying Dragon, they're going to look to fight a Baron. They're going to lose at minimum an inhibitor.
And KT has to pull back as Smeb comes in with that Abyssal Voyage. Lots of poke. still going to come through. Gorilla starts tanking up the Baron. There's the GP ult drop. Can they burn down the Baron and turn this around? There's the Baron secured by Prey. Now they have to turn this fight, but there is a giant Someday who nails Peanut to the wall. Score now fighting inside the ultimate. ROX Tigers going to take the first kill of this team fight. And can they turn this around? They get 4, only Someday left up. He has to hop over the wall right now. He's going to get away, looks like, just barely, but ROX and Gorilla turn that fight. Gorilla walks into the pit. Huge, absolutely enormous. So Gorilla once again coming up with a play that...
Smeb's very overextended.
Yes, he is. Going to deal some damage to Score. Now they're going to TP in with Kuro. Fly is here, and they're actually going to get a kill. There's the True Shot Barrage coming on through. Fly has the Shen ultimate on him, but there are 2 kills as Arrow adds a little bit of insult to injury with his arrival.
There's a level of safety that's just a misplay. It's just too conservative. So I think that was just one hair's breadth too conservative from KT.
They find themselves in a situation getting chunked out by some GP barrels. Someday about to hit Meganar, but he's at 50% HP. Smeb doing some damage. Hachani walking forward. Arrow takes a chunk. True Shot Barrage not going to hit. Nice pull there. But he is going to get tied up by the Ring of Frost. Gorilla now, the next target, GP ult falls onto Arrow. Arrow has to reposition. Ajani's going to die right here. Can they kill Gorilla in return? The answer is yes. Arrow now on top of Prey, has to back out, flashes into the back line, but they're going to live. Fly now and Score still trying to work with his Someday, kiting Kuro, but he gets hit by a parlay. Fly still alive, but Prey is there with Smeb to take him out. Only Score left up. Going to fight the Tigers at the Dragon. Kuro there, loaded up with a barrel, gets a nice first proc, and here we go. The TP's coming into the back line. Someday on the flank. He's not Meganar. Fly. He's going to use his claw to get into this fight. No, he doesn't take it on the retreat. Meanwhile, Kindred ult drops. Someday going to punt 2 into the wall. Gorilla has his ultimate, uses it right now. Kuro in the front line. Is Kuro going to die? The answer is yes, but that's a 1-for-2 trade for KT. And they lost Peanut, they lost Kuro, but they still have 4 members up. Achani low. Arrow needs to get some HP, but Smeb is just so damn tanky. Someday here in Mininar. He's going to get eaten and pushed back in. Someday is going to die as Prey comes over the wall with the arcade shift. Achani, the next victim of Prey, but there is Score on top of him. Arrow has to work through Smeb right now. Score with a Zhonya's Hourglass is going to be the next one to die, as Smeb has actually been getting most of the kills in these fights. Dash forward. Arrow wants the finisher, and there's the shield. Tongue Lash not going to hit.
Oh, he got it!
He turns around on the Bush face check. Smeb on the highest damage Tom Kedge anyone has ever seen. Interesting to Score with the Zhonya's Hourglass this game, opting for some more magic damage because they really need it. And here we go, Someday with the initiation. They find Peanut. Peanut in the Kindred ult. He's going to die. 2 members caught up. Prey is in the front line. Peanut's still alive, but everyone collapsing on him. Double kill for Someday. Gorilla here now in the middle of the team fight, and they're going to chase down Smeb eventually. Gorilla turned on by Hachani and Fly. He is going to die. Smeb now stunned twice. Boulder toss. He's not going to live much longer. He wants to take out Arrow, but Arrow just going to back off, and that should be it. Gorilla, though, is actually going to get a kill onto Fly. Where did Hachani go in all of that? I guess he ulted out.
Arrow with the stylish culling there. He knows this game is over. Prey died in the front line. Smeb wasn't even grouped in that fight. For once, ROX's team fight positioning completely lets them down, and we're going to a 3rd game.
What a thrilling final game. Gorilla gets taunted, no more ultimate. So KT wins the last team fight. Someday ends up with a 30 out of 32 kill participation in a very dominant NAR game.